Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over 2 different emails sent from subscribers dealing with the subject of not tolerating any BS in your relationships and how you must always check them, draw boundaries, establish boundaries and all that, and if you don't, there's going to be a whole bunch of drama and BS and you'll be taken advantage of. And the first story I'm going to go over is from a younger guy who did just that. Allowed the gal to jerk him around, didn't stand up for himself, and of course, never-ending BS, and learned the hard way. The second story is from a guy who's older, who's been married for a while, and his wife, after the kids, didn't want to have the SCX anymore, even though he wanted it. And he kept talking to her and saying things, and still less and less SCX, typical stereotype there. He didn't stand up for himself in the way he should, and finally he does something that makes her realize that this guy is out of here if she doesn't get her act together. And miraculously, now that she knows that she could lose him, guess who's more than enthusiastic to give him all the loving that he wants? Imagine that, by a guy standing up for himself, showing that he'll walk away, etc., etc. So that'll be a good one to go over both these stories here to show you what happens when you don't do that and what happens when a guy finally does this. And this is important for all your relationship guys. In life, you got, and not just relationships, not just romantic relationships, but any relationships you have with friends, family, co-workers, and like that. If you don't establish boundaries, you don't stand up for yourself, you don't check people when they're disrespecting you, and to get what you want, you're going to get jerked around, and none of you guys deserve that crap because it's infuriating and humiliating and all that. So the first story, this guy says here, "Dear SSM, I've been a fan of yours for a while now, and I thought that I had learned quite a bit from you in my time watching your videos on how to be a real man and not take crap from anyone. However, I apparently did not, and the last gal I dated was an example of that. But I needed the experience because I was so meek and shy and submissive that I needed that metaphorical punch in the mouth that this last relationship was for me. Well, you know what, bro? Look at it like this. If it took her jerking you around and breaking your heart and pissing you off for you to finally realize where you're going wrong, then it's a win. Look at it like that. There's a silver lining to this situation, the BS you put up with here. And yeah, a lot of people think they can watch my videos for a while and then all of a sudden, with no practice in their life, they're going to just be transformed into the type of guy. No, it takes practice and experience. But you're getting there. I hope that my experience will help someone out and they won't get caught in the web by a gal like Maggie. I met Maggie, not her real name, on Tinder." He says, "Smack, I know. She was a CNA and was a pretty hefty gal, to say the least, but cute nonetheless." Okay, so you got a big gal, but she's got a pretty face. Let me tell you guys, I have in my life met some girls that were beautiful faces, and then you look below the neck and it's like, whoa, Jesus. It's a shame. We chatted for a while on Tinder and Snapchat, and things were great. The SCX was fantastic, and we really liked each other, with her calling me her baby boy. Oh boy, she's roping you into baby boy talk. I had a girl call me that once, and it didn't end well for me, because I got roped in by the my baby boy bullshit, too. And by the way, you met her on Tinder. You can't turn an HOE into a housewife or girlfriend. That's hookup material, not girlfriend material. You should have plowed her and walked. Friends with benefits, nothing more. Then one day Maggie vanished in the blink of an eye. No reason why, just gone one day. I was heartbroken and cried a lot about it. That's what happens when you're banging a tinderella. She's not girlfriend material. About 6 months later, I was buzzed off some whiskey. I'm a big whiskey drinker, and I decided to unblock Maggie on Snapchat. I was mad and blocked her after she vanished. She and I started chatting again, and we're both very apologetic for what happened when she vanished on me. She was apologetic, or you were apologetic? What the hell are you apologizing for? And of course she's sorry, because now she needs you back. I was madly in love with her. Smack. You don't fall in love with a Tinderella, bonehead. I know you know that now. And she even called me her baby boy, so of course I was smitten. That was the whole idea, dude. Eventually things got weird, with Maggie revealing she had about 7 friends with benefits, many of whom were old enough to be my dad. I was 23 in this story, and I'm currently 24. Dude, what I tell you about Tinderellas. 7 friends with benefits, including you. Always wear protection, guys. Maggie also got mad at me for having a friend with benefits at the time and got very insecure. Hold on. You start talking again after 6 months, after she ghosted you. And you have another friend with benefits you probably met on fucking Tinder, and she's mad at you for having one gal who's your side piece. Meanwhile, she has 7 dudes. Okay, make rules for thee, but not for me. What did I do? I started to console her. However, I thought she loved me because she was willing to not sleep with her friends with benefits while talking to me. Smack for consoling her and smack for thinking that she was going to stop her friends with benefits. Bullshit. That's a test. Things continued with me and Maggie, and she started revealing she was very S-word adventurous and liked lots of out there unique S-word activities with both men and women. Hey, okay, no problem, but you're not my girlfriend. Friends with benefits. Or hookup, whatever. She also revealed that she was a hardcore smoker. But these things weren't even the most insane parts about her. Well, how could you not tell that she was a smoker before? I mean, obviously you spent enough time with her, and I'm sure her mouth tasted like that, her clothes tasted like, hell, probably down south you could smell it, you know? Maggie one day told me that she might be trans and may want to become a man and have my boobs removed. Will you still love me? I, a heterosexual man, didn't know what to say. Here's what I would do. I'd be running. There'd be a fire trail behind me like the fucking DeLorean Back to the Future. I was paralyzed, so I let it slide since in my mind I didn't want to rock the boat and mess up a good thing. Smack. Rock the boat, you candy ass. You say what's on your mind. And mess up a good thing. Doesn't sound very good to me. And I used to be very meek to the point, not even wanting to ask professors questions after class in school for fear of upsetting them. Stop being afraid of what people think of you. Just do your thing. Any people will like you or they won't like you. She didn't bring it up again, and I was still smitten. But of course, I wasn't comfortable with what she had told me. But I didn't have the backbone to leave. I know, smack. And she was still sexually interested in me, sending nudes fairly often, which I believe kept me around. She knew exactly how to keep you around, just how she knew to keep all the other guys around. The problem here is, guys, if you are that guy, if you're in a stage in your life that you're busy in your grind, but you want to get laid, and you got some friends with benefits, okay, fine, that's your business. But you can't allow yourself to go fall in love with these broads because they're not relationship material, and you're going to get hurt. And this is going on here. Another red flag I ignored was her panicked urgency in going to get a new nose ring from the mall while not even trying to make time to see me, claiming her work schedule didn't allow it, even though she showed me the schedule and she had several days back-to-back off. It's because you were not a priority to her, dude. I guarantee you there are other dudes that are priority to her. See, she knew that you were smitten with her. She knew she had you. There's no challenge, no fun there. You're the backup guy that she hooks up with from time to time. Obviously, in the beginning, you hooked up more often because you were new, but now you're just the guy that, her backup when she's bored. That's why she's treating you like that. Believe me, a woman could be working 80 hours a week, and she'll still find time to be with the guy that she's really hot for, okay? So if she's not making time for you because she's so busy, trust me, you're just a low priority. Pay attention to people's actions. And here's the thing, man, back to the standing up lesson, you should be standing up for yourself. And if you actually think you're in a relationship, then you need to draw some boundaries, stand up for yourself, check her when she's treating you in a way that you don't feel you're being treated right. But you're not doing that because you're so afraid of rocking the boat or upsetting her. That's the problem. Eventually, Maggie vanished again, blocking me entirely, completely at random one afternoon. After we told each other we loved each other and we're going to spend time together and commit to each other for the long haul. Yeah, I can tell through her actions how much she cares about you. See? But things didn't end there. A few days later, Maggie had a new boyfriend. A few weeks later, after that, she had another new boyfriend. But I learned my lesson. I'm certainly certain I will not make the same mistakes. I've also gotten myself into a relationship with a very amazing gal, and suffering through Maggie was worth it for the end result of my current relationship. I hope this story will help any guy not to make the same mistake I did. Thanks for reading SSM. Keep up the good work you do. Well, bro, I appreciate you sharing your story. I know a lot of guys are going to make fun of you, but that takes balls. And if you learned something from all this, then it was worthwhile. So if your relationship guy, clearly, don't get involved with tinderellas. You can't turn an HO into a houseweb. And stand up for yourself. If you're not being treated the way you want to be treated, then you stand up for yourself and establish boundaries. And if she doesn't do that, you walk. Now, with this new girlfriend, I hope you don't make the same mistakes twice. And if you do, well, I'll probably be getting an email from you probably next month. Now to the second story where the guy also is not getting what he wants from his marriage in terms of the bedroom action. And eventually, he stands up for himself and the magic that happens once he does. This guy says here, hello SSM. I'm glad that you're happy about your move to Florida. You're damn right, man. It's December 24th. It was in the upper 60s this morning. I'm here. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt again. There's a big fucking smile on my face. And shout out to all the brothers in New England that are freezing their ass off in the 30s. Although, I gotta tell you, I would take 1 month of just cold weather. Because it is nice to see the snow out there a couple times where I have to shovel that white shit. But anyhow, yes, I'm loving Florida. Thank you very much. I saw a video just today that you did over on the other channel. It was titled "Wife Started Behaving Like an Effinist and is now having a meltdown that her marriage is imploding." It struck really close home to me. My wife is 33 and I'm 32, are recovering from this, and there are some days I still don't know what is going to happen. To go back in time about 4 years, my wife and I were very active in the bedroom, 3 to 5 times a week. Okay, that's pretty good for being married. We had 3 boys at the time, and she wanted 1 more. Due to complications, this is going to be the last kid that she can have. After almost 6 months, we had another little boy on the way. At about 3 months into the pregnancy, she cut off almost all intimacy. This would go on for the rest of the pregnancy, but I kept on. We both got the vid at the same time, but I took care of her even though I was only slightly better than her. I put all my effort into this pregnancy and her well-being. I love our boy. He has quite a personality and thankfully my stubbornness. So he was born, and I hope that the bedroom would come back. I expressed that my needs were important and she needs to respect that before she loses my drive entirely. She didn't listen, and it's been a year, and I could count on intimate encounters on my fingers. Okay, that's a problem. So now, Dad, is the point where you start laying down the law. Now, here's the thing, guys. I want to interrupt here for a second. This is very important, so pay attention for your relationship, guys. When a woman thinks that she's got you, that you're not going anywhere, she loses respect, okay? Or shall I say, when she knows you aren't going anywhere, if she pushes you too far, she loses respect. It's all about respect. And if she doesn't respect you, she doesn't love you, and she sure as hell is not going to want to hook up with you regularly. Now, what are little signs of her thinking that she has you? Well, if you've got 4 kids, that's a sign you're not going anywhere, or at least she thinks the odds of you not going anywhere. You buy a house together, the house you always wanted, it's got all the things you like. Oh, he's invested in this house, he ain't going anywhere. Or it starts off early on when you first move in together. You know, you're on the lease. Yes, you can break the lease and you're not even married, but you get my point. The more invested you are in the relationship, the house, the marriage, the kids, you're not going anywhere. And she might think, I don't have to do anything. You have to still be the strong guy that commands respect and lets her know, or she's aware, one form or another, that even though you have all these things, the house, the marriage, the kids, if your needs aren't being met, she pushes you too far, you're out of there. And you have to fucking mean it. And you have to be willing to do that if you have to. Because you as a man deserve goddamn respect, and you deserve to have your needs met. Okay? For a guy, we need to fuck something fairly often. And if our wife isn't giving it to us, the guy's going to leave. You know, it'd be like if all of a sudden you got a different job where you're making half the money. She'd be pretty pissed off if you couldn't provide the lifestyle that she wanted. Now, I had to say this. Now we're going to continue on. I was a fool at this point. I should have put my foot down and made something happen. At least you can admit it. I allowed myself to just go into protector mode without caring for my needs. I did tell her that things didn't change. She wouldn't like what happened in the future. And she's testing it. She's like, okay, asshole. Are you really going to leave our 4 kids in the house? Pfft, ha, ha, ha. You're not going to cheat on me. She's testing you. Another 6 months go by, and I tell her that I'm in a really bad place and have needs that will need to be met soon, or I won't be able to come back. I brought up the conversation at least once a month, and she still continued to ignore me. Well, you're not obviously showing you're serious enough. And she's also an asshole. She claimed her postpartum was really hard because she can't have any more kids now, and in part she wanted to see if all I cared about was the SCX. What a load of bullshit. Come on, she's making you the bad guy here. All you care about is the sex. No. I'm not saying we need to do this 16 times a day, every day. I'm just saying a few times a week is pretty fucking reasonable. I know we got 4 boys and they're running around doing what boys do, being loud, obnoxious, and fucking drawing on the walls and giving each other haircuts and stupid shit that boys do. But still, I need to fuck something. And remember, now one can say, if she ain't getting it from you, she's getting it someplace else. Well, that's one area there you have to explore. And yes, I do know what I've heard, the postpartum has an effect, but it seems at this juncture, it's time to move on, And her being issues and not having any more kids, you have 4 kids. If you contribute to mankind growing here, enough's enough. I've given almost a year and a half of my life with very limited intimacy just to be told that this was in part of a giant test. I got mad but kept my cool. I told that we needed to fix things soon or I was near a breaking point. After 3 more months of her not putting any effort in, I broke. She noticed that I broke and stopped putting in any effort. By the 2-year mark of limited intimacy, she wanted my attention again and her postpartum was finally going away. I find it interesting that as soon as I stop putting in all the effort, that her mental block starts going away. Yes, it's amazing that the difference there. See? You start becoming indifferent and stop making the effort. And all of a sudden she's realizing, uh-oh, this guy's serious. I better do something right now. And magically, the postpartum crap disappears. And all of a sudden she wants your you-know-what in her mouth. Imagine that. She doesn't know how to initiate anymore, and so we go another 6 months with even less. Slowly grinding to where if she didn't start it, I wouldn't even try. This is where I made a mistake. I'm going to bruise your hand with the slaps coming up. Well, not so much you may think. I met another woman that showed interest, and after a few months, really wanted my personal attention. I'm not surprised. She pushed to this point. Now, it ain't cool to cheat. It ain't cool to cheat on your wife. But I understand you wanting to feel wanted. I understand you wanting to F something. I said the F word enough times in this video. I got to now speak in code, otherwise YouTube won't like that too much. But you can't go cheating on your wife. But I don't blame you for wanting to actually feel like you're attractive and wanting some affection and all that. But this is the juncture where you need to really, that's when there's the trip to the divorce attorney. Here, wife, here are the papers. You better get your act together. I'm out of here. But you're going to see how this thing plays out to get with her. I was weak and wanted the physical touch, but when the moment came, my whole body froze. I physically couldn't meet her. My brain wanted the physical interaction, my body would not move. In other words, you were close to the dirty deed and really physically cheating, because you were emotionally cheating, but you were physically cheating, but you couldn't do it. And obviously, something stopped you. No doubt your conscience. My brain wanted the physical, blah, 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 blah. After a tough moment where I mentally slapped the fuck out of myself, I told the lady that I couldn't see her and blocked her and everything. And that's the way to handle it. Yes, you were emotionally cheating, and that ain't cool, but given your circumstances, now watch this. Our guy here doesn't hide this. He tells his wife. I told my wife that I almost screwed up, but did not. That even when she wasn't there, that I physically couldn't cheat on her. This created a roller coaster of emotions that she eventually forgave me for, and this only furthered my thoughts that the S-word validation isn't important and I shouldn't desire it. Bullshit. You're allowed. You have the needs, and that's okay. Now listen to this, gentlemen. Funnily enough, now my wife works hard to lay on the compliments and pushes for more bedroom time. How interesting. She saw she has competition. She saw that you were this close to hooking up with another woman. And she's going to lose you. So she's realizing, oh shit, I better start treating this guy the way he deserves to be treated. Otherwise, he has options. This other woman found him attractive. And I better start treating him well. I don't agree with the initial way you did it. But look what happened when she saw that you could leave. I'm just focused on my project, trying to build a product to hopefully get on the shelves next year. I can honestly say thanks to this whole situation that I got this off the ground. It's no longer just a pipe dream. So you're on your grind. You got a project underway. You're starting a business. Awesome. I allotted myself to getting obese during marriage, and I'm starting the slow process of working out, even though it kicks my ass. I'm only down 5 pounds so far, but I have another 60 pounds to go. Well, if you got to lose 60 pounds till you're at the stage where you're no longer obese or overweight, that doesn't sound that way to me, unless like you're the size of a Christmas elf in the North Pole. But okay. And by the way, notice that he wasn't getting any, so he was probably feeling depressed, and so he was eating a bunch of shit and gaining weight. Well, it's time to lose that weight, my man. You got the new year coming up. If you haven't done it already, something that's very helpful is obviously a personal trainer that can help you with the workout department to kick you in the ass, and also a registered dietitian to help you with the meal plan to make sure you're eating right and all that. Working out's important, but 80% of it is in the kitchen and the food you eat. Again, this is for entertainment purposes, but and seek out a doctor's advice before you do any major lifestyle changes with your body and all that. I gotta say that shit. You get my point. So, short story long, don't give up on your dreams for a spouse and never allow someone else to dictate what you feel. That gives them power. If she ever stops initiating and putting me in such a low place again, she is now aware that I will walk. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Thank you for all your good work and keep it up. I've been listening since the pre-glasses era, and without this constant help, I might have made the worst mistake or given up myself. Thank you again. Sincerely, McGregor. Oh, McGregor. It's good to meet you. I'm glad things are working out well, and I'm glad now she's now really making the effort, because you know what, that wasn't fair to you. And it pissed me off when you said that she twisted around saying, all you care about is the sex. No, that's not all I care about, but I am a man, I have needs, goddammit. And so I'm glad now that with that, what you did, and you came clean with her about that, and that's good. And I'm sure that there was drama there, but you know what, now she knows. Now she knows that you have options if you have to, and she pushes you too far, look what's going to happen. Because next time, you might bang another chick, and now you're divorced, and she's humiliated and all that. So, you did what you had to do. So, again, I don't recommend, certainly I'm against cheating guys emotionally or physically, but in this situation, I'm glad he didn't go through with it and told her that's all he had to do, and now she's getting in line. So, that's good. So, the lesson of these stories, guys, are check your girl, establish boundaries, stand up for yourself, and they got to know you're going to walk if you push you too far or don't meet your needs that are reasonable. Because until that happens, guys, it's going to be bullshit. And let's just say that I have experience in this, and it's amazing the results will happen when they know that you're going to walk away or this close to walking, or everything's set up for you to walk away. It's magical. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know, guys, in the comments section. Have you had experience in this where, okay, you were walking away, and magically everything changed just like that, and now you got your man card back, and things are good? I'd like to hear about that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.